Paintball nerd.
All right, so we have Raney Stanczak here. Raney, tell us about your move to Damage.
Yeah, it kind of just happened real quick. After Cup, I'm kind of in shock. It takes a couple of weeks to process how the year went, how the week went. I know a lot of guys shop around during the season, and that's just not my move. Actually, Monday, Joey messaged me, and I pretty much said I had no intentions of leaving. And then I had some time off to really think about it. I had a couple of weeks to process everything, kind of thought about the frustrations, how Cup went, how the year went. We didn't make Sunday a few times, just all those things were kind of in my head. I talked to Ryan Brand about it a bit. I kind of talked myself out of the team in a sense. And then the next day, Keith Brown called me up out of the blue, just, good timing. And I talked to Keith a lot. Keith, I played with on Impact for 4 years. I played with him on Damage. So I talk to Keith all the time, and, we'll spend an hour on the phone just chit chatting. So I talked to him, and he's like, CJ's looking to make a move. Joey's looking to make a move. And the next day, I talked to CJ and Joey, worked out a deal, and literally it was just very quick. Less than 24 hours, everything happened just like that.
Wow, dude. So you mentioned some frustrations with not making Sunday a couple times. Why do you feel like it was time to move on from X Factor?
Yeah, that's a tough one. It's tough because X Factor was so good to me and such a family to me, and I created so many close relationships with those dudes that it was a very, I know it happened quick, but it's kind of just like ripping a Band-Aid rather than just, slow bleeding it out. I just, last year I turned down an offer right before the event, 3 weeks before the event, which I, couldn't do it. I just couldn't leave that quickly before a tournament, and kind of put that thought out of my head. And, it just was time. It was time for something new. It was time for a change in my life, and, new hurdles for me to jump over and new experiences. And it just seemed to make sense. Keith called at the right moment, and, X Factor doesn't want to make moves late in the year. They'd write an answer before December 15th. And it just seems like the right thing, at the right time,
Yeah. Got it, dude. Who do you think you're going to really miss playing with on X Factor?
I mean, all the guys, I got along with all of them. Alex is one of the best owners in the league. He takes care of you, really makes you a better man just being around him. Ryan Brand's a great coach. I enjoy playing with Billy and Meter and Colt and TJ and LJ and all these dudes. They're all really good dudes. And so that's what makes it tougher. When I've left teams before, there was either they got rid of me or there was a clear agreement that it just wasn't working. Where on this, it was just kind of me out of the blue saying, I'm going to do something new. So, relationships will change because of that. I don't blame them, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned you got an offer. I mean, was there a financial incentive with going to Damage?
Yeah, a little bit, but at the end of the day, I when it comes down to it, I really just wanted to do something new and different. Know.
Right on, dude. Do you think that Damage is planning any other pickups besides you?
I know they've talked about a few things that I can't really talk about. But I mean, the roster's really, really thick right now. We got a lot of good players. I know Ryan Smith potentially may not be back next year.
Wow.
I'm not 100% sure on that one, but that's what they're saying. But yeah, there's a couple things maybe in the works that I can't really talk about.
Gotcha. Well, Raney, in what ways do you plan to change the dynamic on Damage?
Honestly, I don't try to just go in there and change the dynamic. They have their team, and the best thing I can do is complement their team rather than change the team. Rather than trying to just impose my will. If they need me to play the 2 on the snake side and take Brian Smith's role, I'll do that. Brian Smith's there, and they need me to go up the middle, I'll do that. If they need some aggressive outlook on how to play the field, I'll do that. If Joey needs help in the pit on who to put out there, who are the best guys, I'll do that. So whatever I need to do to help win is really more about, solving a problem and, coming up with a solution for them and just kind of presenting it to them rather than, hey, we need to do this, this, and that. That doesn't work. One guy coming in trying to change it. It's not about one person. It's about the system, right?
Yeah. Well, how do you think they're going to use you? In what way do you think they're going to implement Raney into the Damage system?
Well, like I said, if they need a guy to go up the middle, then I can go up the middle, and it opens up for Chad. But Chad Bouzier could be really well up the middle. So, I can just fill a hole where it needs to be filled, right? If they need me to be the two on the snake side and, be that guy that's kind of quarterbacking and going down the field and pushing the snake with Keith or Silos or whoever's with me, like that's what I'm going to do. So, I'm not one of those people that's like, I have to play this spot and do this thing. It's like, I'm a problem solver, right? And paintball is real-time solutions. Like you're real-time solving in that moment, trying to figure out what the best solution is. So if I need to start attacking one match and then playing a corner or playing up the middle, whatever I need to do, I'm going to do,
Yeah, man. I can't wait to see you on the field with Damage. I think it's going to be really exciting. I think you're going to complement them really well. And I mean, you'll do that with any team, Raney. So it should be awesome, though.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. They had a really good season last year. They got second at Cup, the Dynasty. They got first at one of the minors. There's one event they kind of didn't play the best at Chicago. And honestly, like I was watching them play and I was like, they should be doing this, they should be doing that. And sometimes in the past, I'll talk to Keith. I'm like, you guys should have done this, should have done that. And so I think that will be real easy for me to be like, hey, I think we should do this. And then if we're down points, like I feel like that's how Damage is going to become dangerous, right? Damage is a very good fundamental team on defense and some offense. But if I can, bring us back in matches where we're down, and just be like, hey, this is the problem, this is the solution, let's execute it. I mean, the team's filled with all-stars, and I mean, it won't be hard to solve those problems and just execute.
Yeah. You sound really excited about the move, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm pumped, dude. It's just been like a hectic last few days. Like I make the move, and then it's like your phone blows up, Instagram just like your DMs blow up. It's like
Guilty. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's just I kind of try to avoid these things, to be honest. I love playing the game, but I don't necessarily want to be in the limelight. I mean, I do want the respect and the accolades of winning, but I don't necessarily want to put myself out there and like, I want to be on this show, I want to be on this show, I want to be on this show, I want to be on this show. It's like, no, like last year, a couple times I would literally delete Instagram for multiple weeks and just not even have my phone on and just not address a lot of things. And so, I think sometimes it's healthy to stay off the internet, but no, I'm pumped, really excited. And if I've ignored you in the DMs, don't be mad.
we definitely appreciate you hopping on Paintball Nerd. All the nerds are going to appreciate it for sure. Everyone wants to hear your perspective on it. And, you are a big player in pro paintball, no doubt about it. So it's a big move. It's big news, and we appreciate you sharing with us about it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thanks for having me on. And, sorry I kept it short and quick, but at the airport here and don't really want to spend a lot of time talking.
Yeah, totally. One last question though.
What's up?
If that's okay. So
no, for sure.
Who on Damage are you most looking forward to playing with?
Oh man, there's so many so I played with Chad, Big 2-0 on Damage and Impact. I played with Keith on Damage and Impact. I played with both the Edwards brothers. I haven't played with Silos, which I'm excited for. I haven't played on Chris Horn. Marky Ireland's a new pickup I haven't played with. Trying to think out, probably leaving out some people, but I'm excited to play with Jacob and Keith and all those dudes, and they got a good squad. The Florida has that strange. I think of them as strange, right? And in 2013 when I played with the team, everything went well and we had a great year. We got second to Dynasty, then we got first in the fourth event, and we had a chance to win the series. And we didn't win the series. We fell short for whatever reasons, and I think we could have easily made Sunday and we would have won the series, and Dynasty didn't make Sunday, so they left the window open for us. So I left at the end of that season to go to Impact, and I don't regret doing that, but part of the big reason was to go play in Europe. So I feel like I have some unfinished business back at Tampa Bay Damage, and to try to win the series. And obviously Dynasty is the team up on the top of the board, and Damage got second to them at Cup, so I'm excited to try and conquer that problem and come up with some solutions and figure out how to beat those dudes.
Right on, dude. Raney, thank you so much for your time, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.